Could the Chicago Bears be looking to bring back an unexpected name to the roster after training camp? We're going to talk a little bit about that. Plus, Noah Sewell's last chance to earn his roster position with the Chicago Bears. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host there, Hayes, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content for today, y'all. And we got a couple of roster kind of news and rumors going on around the Chicago Bears. And we're going to start off. While many Bears fans have been asking what the Bears are going to do with the running back position, a lot of people have also asked about depth on that offensive line. Well, it seems like the Bears could be thinking about bringing back a veteran who was on the team last year that was released this offseason, but could be looking to bring him back as he has not found a new home yet, and that is DeMarcus Walker. Could be the move that the Bears look to bring back here. Now, while I know some Bears fans were hoping for kind of a bigger on the offensive line, on the defensive line, bringing back DeMarcus Walker, who had, 7 sacks over his seasons with the Chicago Bears and is a very versatile offensive lineman. I think when you look at his ability to, as a better pass rusher on the interior, better run defender on the edge with DeMarcus Walker, it could be really used there to supplement the Chicago Bears. Now, I want to be clear here. If this move were to happen, it's not happening anytime soon. This would not happen until well into training camp, after the Chicago Bears get a chance and an opportunity to really look at everything that they've brought in on that defensive line, as well as how Daniel Hardy and Austin Booker have grown in the offseason as well under the new coaching staff. But if you need some depth there, DeMarcus Walker isn't bad, right? Listen, what DeMarcus Walker has had is solid production for the Chicago Bears. It's not great production. It's not production you can't replace, but it is solid production. And coming in and having familiarity with the players that are already here in Montez Sweat, Javon Dexter, being able to work with those guys already, Austin Booker, which he did work with, Andrew Billings as well, right? It could be something there. Now, I do think that, Dennis Allen does like versatile defensive linemen, but he did bring in 2 in Shamar Turner and Dayo Odeyingbo. We also brought in Grady Jarrett as well. But if you're bringing in DeMarcus Walker, who has not found a home yet, and he ends up being a piece that's coming in here to provide some depth, I'm not mad at it. The Bears are confident in what they have here up until this point. And while a lot of Bears fans have those questions and those hopes that the Bears are going to go out and make some big defensive line acquisition, it seems like they are really confident in what they brought in here, and they want to really ride with that and see what happens with it this season. But as the Bears and as Ryan Poles have been apt to do before, is making a acquisition after you get into training camp and really get to see how things are going. I think that's what you're probably looking at here with the Chicago Bears overall. We got Crimson in the building. Good morning, Crimson. Stefan's in the building. What's going on, fam? Miguel's in here as well. We got Josh in here, who's a big supporter of all the channels that we do. We appreciate you as well, Josh. But hearing the possibility of bringing DeMarcus Walker back, it doesn't shock me. I think that's a really good acquisition. If you're into training camp, and I get it, if this was opening a free agency, it would be like, really, that's your defensive line move? But I think at this point that you're in the training camp, bringing in a veteran who's been productive and is as versatile like DeMarcus Walker, I'm not mad at it, right? As a depth piece, I'm good with exactly, right? And I think that's what it's about. You're bringing him in here. You're not bringing him in here to start over Dayo Odeyingbo. You're not bringing him in here to start over Grady Jarrett or Javon Dexter on the interior defensive line. You're not bringing him in there for that. I think you're bringing him in here to come in here and be a versatile piece to where if you need to plug in something unexpected, you can. I still think Austin Booker's going to be ahead of him on that edge. Daniel Hardy's probably going to be ahead of him on that edge a little bit. And so you're bringing in DeMarcus Walker as a piece that can go all the way around and play multiple positions for you. And also, let's keep in mind, too, we don't know if Andrew Billings is going to be 100% healthy yet. We still don't know what his injury status is. We know that he's set to be cleared by training camp, but you don't necessarily know that either, right? And so while you have Shamar Turner and things here as well, again, adding some more depth there, and I think a veteran who's done it at different positions, at different levels in the NFL. Could also help with the growth of some of the young players that you brought in here as well, right? I'm assuming nobody wanted to take a risk with him, and that's what it seems like, right? I know there was some talk with the Lions potentially bringing him in about a month ago. That came and went pretty quietly. They didn't end up bringing him in. So, if the Bears end up making that move, I don't think that it's a bad move. I'm not going to sit here and judge it for a move that you're making at the start of training camp. I'm not going to sit here and flip out over it as I know some Bears fans is. I think it's a solid acquisition at a time period where you need some solid acquisition. So I'm not mad at that. A training camp bounty, that's perfect for it, right? D-Walk can play on the interior too. Yeah, interior and exterior. Absolutely. You can play all the defensive line positions. I like Walker, and we need a veteran presence like Robert Quinn was. And he's not going to be as expensive as Robert Quinn was either, right? That's the good thing when it comes down to that also. So, if DeMarcus Walker and the production that he was able to bring here with the Chicago Bears, if that ends up being what the Bears move to, again, I think that's what you're looking at overall too, is functional veteran acquisitions is probably what you're looking at here for the Chicago Bears if they do make acquisitions. 3.5 sacks in each of his 2 years with the Chicago Bears, a total of 77 tackles in those 2 years as well. As a defensive lineman that's brought in to do multiple positions, I'm not mad at that. Again, I'm not mad at that production. He's still a fairly young guy, too. It's not like he's well over the hill or anything like that. So, solid veteran piece. I'm not mad at it if they end up bringing him in. But let's switch gears from a veteran piece that was here on the team before to a young piece that's been here for a while and hasn't been able to quite find their way. Ben Johnson was asked about the third linebacker, the strong side linebacker. And while we know that Dennis Allen he plays a lot of two linebacker sets with the cornerback, the nickel, fluctuating kind of as that pseudo third linebacker. There's been a lot of questions there, right? Of course, Jack Sanborn was let go. He was not retained. He's gone. And really, when you're looking behind the depth chart for the Chicago Bears at that point in time, it leaves Noah Sewell, Ruben Hippolyte, Power Echols as another guy that we brought in here as an undrafted free agent, which we already know the Bears are not against letting undrafted free agents if they're the best. And Ben Johnson reiterated the fact that the depth chart is open, the position is open, but he brought up somebody that I think a lot of people, I'll hold myself accountable. I don't talk about him a lot because I think it is what it is. But when Ben Johnson was asked about the strong side linebacker, he said this. That third spot, it's up for grabs. We do have a prototype. Dennis Allen has got a prototype for what the Sam would look like. We're more concerned, let's find our third best linebacker, and we'll figure it out from there. We've got a lot of scenarios going on in our heads right now on what it could be. We don't know for sure until we get pads on. Obviously, Noah Sewell has been in the building, and he has shown good things. We've got a mix of other guys, which leads me to this question, right? Is this Noah Sewell's last chance? Not many players who don't crack the rotation survive a coaching staff change, right? And so some guys do. Sometimes the new coaching staff comes in, they see a guy, maybe he's better suited, better fit for their system, and he earns more opportunities, and it was the last staff who just didn't know how to use him. Or if you don't crack the rotation after a second coaching staff and a new set of eyes has gotten a look at you, that's a little bit of a problem. And when you look at Noah Sewell as well, this is technically his third defensive coordinator he's been under, right? So this is an opportunity for Noah Sewell to see what he can bring, right? When you look at that possibility of what he can bring, for it, he has the power, right? He has the legit size, which isn't a question about it as well. Like Noah Sewell is just, whether it's been health or whatever else, or incompetence from the Bears coaching staff, which I'm not out of saying that it could be incompetence from the former Bears coaching staff. Let's be clear, right? But with Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen coming in and having a new defensive coordinator and new eyes, we'll see what happens, right? This is really Noah Sewell's, in a lot of ways, his last chance, right? He's heading into his third year in the NFL, a third year in which he's not brought very much at all for the Chicago Bears team, and to the credit as well, he hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities either. If you want to give him that leeway, right? So the question is that what is it going to look like now? He's coming in. You got Ruben Hippolyte. You got Powers Echols that are coming in as competition for you. You're 24 years old, 6'2", 253 pounds, right? Over the course of his NFL career, only 22 total tackles. I'm sorry, 13 total tackles in 22 games. So it's not like he's done a lot, right? But I do look at this and say it could have just been the coaching staff. It absolutely could have been the coaching staff, right? I think that's something that you look at for as well. And says, I left a voicemail concerning the Sam linebacker before the draft. I assume they would address it in the draft, but I think this regime will figure it out. You know, as I've been saying, I'm at the point where I'm really trying to trust this coaching staff and the evaluations that they come up with over this offseason. And so because of that, I'm not going to complain. We're going to wait and see what comes out of this, what develops out of it, and who they look at as their strong side linebacker. But I do think because of Dennis Allen's propensity to only play two linebackers quite a bit, that could lead to why you're maybe not seeing as a focus on the strong side linebacker. I don't know. I think the last coaching staff was incredibly bad. We might see some seriously odd fallout. I agree with you on Crimson, and I think that's something that it's hard to kind of quantify, right? Because you know, we're not in those buildings every single day. We don't know what the evaluation, what went into it and things like that. But with a more competent coaching staff, it's not out the realm of possibility to look at it and say that some of these guys that maybe there are some questions about or that we haven't seen a lot, maybe there's a vision for them now with this new coaching staff coming in and they just see something different. I agree. The coach that helped draft him went to jail. He didn't go to jail. He's not actually in jail, but I think Sewell gets a chance to start under Dennis Allen, but I see it being very, very slim. I mean, Josh, and that's a great point. I mean, he's been mainly regulated to special teams so far in his NFL career. You know, we'll see what happens there. But, you know, overall, I'll say this, man. Noah Sewell was a guy that when we drafted him, I did look at it and say, hey, this guy could be something, right? Round 5, we picked him in round 5. And you look at what he was able to do in college and things like that. Like in college, just to go over, like this is a guy that, you know, had over 100 tackles in his sophomore year. He had 55 in his junior year right before we got him in here. He's also a guy that got 7 sacks over the course of his collegiate career as well. 7.5 sacks, I think. 3 forced fumbles, an interception. Like he showed just about everything that you want to see from a linebacking prospect in college. He showed that. Now, that doesn't mean that he's going to be an NFL player, right? There's some guys that look really good in college. They end up not amounting to much of anything. But I think like with most positions under this new coaching staff, like there's going to be competition. He's going to have an opportunity. And if you do not earn that opportunity under this coaching staff, then to me that just says you're not that good. You're not that good. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe Dennis Allen from time to time might switch out Edmonds and Sewell. I don't know if he will put, but that's just my opinion. Could be. Miguel says this guy's a good depth piece and a leader on the field. Are you talking about DeMarcus Walker or Noah Sewell? I don't know if we can call Noah Sewell a leader on the field yet, but Noah Sewell has done shit since he's been drafted. Give the young guys a chance. Agree with you. Not to put you on the spot this AM, but who do you think is going to be the honey badger role in Allen's defense? Oh, man, I have to spend some time thinking about that. That's a great question. I mean, there's a lot of guys. I think you're probably looking at mainly Kyler Gordon, probably. Like, I think Kyler Gordon's going to be that guy that's used aggressively all over the court. All over the field court. But with that said, so Noah Sewell, we'll see what Noah Sewell ends up doing for the Chicago Bears team, man, overall. But like I said, he has guys that are coming in here. Ruben Hippolyte is trying to earn a role right away, right? He's trying to earn a role right away. Over his last 2 seasons in Maryland, 132 tackles. He had 3 passes deflected, 1 sack as well, 1 interception. This is the time period. If Noah Sewell is going to be ahead of the pack as far as the young players that have come into this team, and like I said, do not overlook Power Echols as well. I know that it's easy to look at a guy who's an undrafted free agent and figure like they're going to have a long shot to make the roster, and he probably will. I want to be clear here. But I think that that's a guy as well that I'm looking at and I'm saying, hey, between him and Ruben Hippolyte are not trying to leave anything up to chance. They're trying to come in here. They're trying to earn a role right away. And we'll see, but Power Echols is a guy, probably more of a weak side linebacker, but then again, in Dennis Allen's system, 6 foot, 220 pounds. This is a guy that's a monster. You look at Ruben Hippolyte, all the physicality, everything that he has, man. Yeah. So Ruben Hippolyte, Power Echols, those are 2 guys that are coming. And if Noah Sewell wants to stay ahead of the pack, He's going to have to put in that work. He's going to have to put in that work. He's going to have to impress this coaching staff, and we'll see what happens. Brisker might come in looking to make up for last year's failure. I hope so. Like Brisker, we already know what Brisker can be when he's on the field. The problem is, stay your ass on the fucking field, my boy. Like, that's it. That's all we're looking for Brisker. Stay your ass on the field. So we'll see. We'll see. But one of the questions that were over the rookie minicamp as well was Luther Burden with his injury. Luther Burden is basically, he's downplaying anything. It was said by Chris Emma. After checking out of practice yesterday with some discomfort, Luther Burden was back on the field and making plays. Ruben Hippolyte Luther Burden is also, tried to say that there's no problem there. It seems like he's pretty good when it comes down to it. We know that he is one of the players that is very, very, very motivated. Very motivated. I look at Luther Burden III, and I know people like to automatically try to replace guys and say, well, is he DJ Moore's replacement? I'm not worried about none of that. I think what Luther Burden is going to bring to this Bears team as far as identity, toughness in that receiving core, and I tell you what, we said this on yesterday's live stream as well, I fully see Luther Burden putting some linebackers, and especially if you try to put a smaller cornerback on him, that motherfucker is going to run some people over. He is going to run some people absolutely over and demolish fools. And I'm, for one, am super excited. Like, this rookie class, you guys know, I'm in the place where I'm trying not to let my excitement turn into expectations, and that is where I'm focused at. But there's a lot to be excited about in this rookie class. You already got Ozzie Trapilo already separating himself, looking like he's going to take over that starting left tackle position. You got, of course, Colston Loveland, who's, not participating yet in that part of it, but they're getting him up. He's really excited. Luther Burden. And then Kyle Monangai. Like, hearing a lot about Kyle Monangai so far has been really, really good to hear as well. Like, I think his pass blocking is going to get him on the field right away. And then his ability to run between the tackles. Like, I tell you what, if I'm Roschon Johnson, I'm doing everything in my power to make sure I don't get don't get injured this season. Because if you do, everything that you do, even though he's smaller at you, Kyle Monangai's doing as well. So you better watch out for that one. And with Eric Bieniemy being the coach of this running back crew, listen, Kyle Monangai has the right guy behind him that's going to push him, that's going to drive him. Kyle Monangai has the right type of mindset already on his alone anyway. This is a rookie class that, I get it. It's not going to get the awards of the best. We didn't get the Travion Hendersons. We didn't get the Ashton Genties, right? But I think when you look back at this, like, this rookie class has a chance to really bring it. Like I said before, it's not about the names always. It's about the production. And I think we got guys that are going to be able to come in and produce is what I think. So we'll see what happens there. Do you think Rome will jump into the wide receiver one role this year? I think it's a chance. I definitely think it's a chance that could happen, for sure. Watching Eric B. Coaching, I expect it to be real chippy, and training camp attitude is key. I want to bully teams. Last year was so chaotic with the coaches. Burton, super hungry. I want this team to have an identity. We didn't have an identity last year. No way in how you try to cut it. This Bears team didn't have an identity last season, right? Our identity was struggle. This feels like a team that's starting to build that identity. Now, we got to see it happen on the football field, but through our coaches and everything else, we got that identity. Good morning, Bears Nation. Well, good morning, Robert Lee. Glad to have you in the building. With Eric Bieniemy coaching, I think our stable of running back will be just fine. With that and the improvement on the offensive line. And Crimson, you were one of the guys to say that, like, if you improve your offensive line, it makes your running game better, right? An above average offensive line can make a average running back look above average. I think an above average offensive line does more for your running back production than what an above average running back can do behind a bad offensive line, if that makes sense, right? So I think overall, like, us having the improvements that we made in the trenches for this Bears team this year, you're going to see improvements in our running game. You're going to see improvements in that. I think that's a good thing. We had our identity. It was Flus is a clown. Hey, bro, listen. Matt Eberflus was such an idiot, man. Just watching Matt Eberflus talk, it just go back and watch some Matt Eberflus interviews, and you just realize, hey, you're an idiot. You're stupid. Like you may be a solid defensive mind, but as a head coach, you're dumb. And I don't have time for dumb head coaches. I just don't have time for it. So I think that plays a big part into it as well. Newman said the coaches are going to push him to see what kind of player he can be, but are also great teachers. And and to me, teacher being the key word. We haven't had many of those until now. Go Bears. Great point. Great point. My first day back at work in months after shoulder surgery. This just made my morning. Hey, man. Hey, shout out to you for the speedy recovery, bro. We're glad you're able to make it back to work. Asalumente. What the fuck is Asalumente? Stupid and proud, deadly combination. That's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, man. This is the schedule comes out. This week, Wednesday is the official schedule release. Really excited for that, right? So we know exactly where things are going to shake up for the Chicago Bears. We'll see if we open up the season against the Packers again. I actually kind of like that. I actually kind of like opening up the season against the Packers, if I'm being 100% honest with you guys. Like, I don't know. But we do know who our opponents are going to be this year, which is really good. Like, we got the Cowboys. We got the 49ers again this year. We got the Browns. Or the Bengals. Maybe we got the Bengals, not the Browns. We got the Saints as well. We got the Giants. We got the Eagles. We got the Steelers. We got the Commanders again. So it's going to be a fun schedule this year. These coaches are showing that they aren't sunshine and rainbows, whereas the last coaching staff just did not give a damn. It's already like when people are in training camp and people are saying, hey, you feel the difference in this coaching staff in rookie minicamp. Like, that's crazy, right? Like, that's wild that people are already pointing out how different, how night and day these coaching staffs are just in freaking rookie minicamp. That's just wild, man. Like we have been so incompetent for so long, man. And to think that Ryan Poles went to bat for weeks. They said they deliberated for 10 days. And to keep Matt Eberflus, you had 10 days to think about it and still made it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I'm going to leave it alone. Hope to God it's not Philly. Hey, man, let it be Philly. We got the AFC North and NFC East this year. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Really fun. But all right, y'all, that's my time for this morning, man. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, sticking it out with us, man, on this morning. It's like not even 7 a.m. Chicago time yet, so I appreciate that. King Booker World says, Bieniemy going to have these cats scared of any type of cones. They're going to be slapping ice cream cones out of their kids' hands. That is hilarious. We got to beat the Commanders. My hometown team fans think they have a better quarterback. Listen, after the game and what happened against the Commanders last year, we absolutely got to be the Commanders, Jack. Like, we got to redeem ourselves, because that loss, that was the turning point for the season. That was the turning point for the season for the Bears, and we never recovered after that. So, it is what it is. But thank you guys for tuning in, man. Make sure you guys are following us at Shy Bears Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. And, like I like to end everything on, Chi-Town up, but Bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
You are now tuned in to Chicago